welcome back to the journey. I'm over here. I just got here to the homestead, and before I go in to start feeding and working on clearing the woods, I wanted to give everybody an update because I know I've had people asking if I'm okay, seeing if the animals are okay, if there's damage on the homestead, if the fences are down, so on or so forth. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to show you guys here at the homestead where the tornado from 2017 was. I'm going to use the gauge here in the truck to give you an idea on the roads. Now the roads are windy, so it's going to be a little bit closer in a straight line, I would assume. I don't know exactly how everything's laid out from the homestead to where the tracks of the tornado are. And then about another 1.5 to 2 miles down the road from the 2017 tornado is the tornado damage that you're going to see from this storm that happened yesterday, which was, let me see, February 16th. So today's February 17th, 2023. The tornado hit here in St. Joe. It went from Pindle across St. Joe and went out into another county. So enjoy the ride along. I'll talk a little bit and explain everything. So this is the entrance. I turn here at Gregory Lane. You can see the shed in the corner to your right, the big white shed there. That's sitting on Purdom Lane, which goes through the homestead. And then of course the fencing that all the animals are in. So I'm gonna head down, and like I said, we're gonna go to the 2017 tornado area, and then go a little bit farther, and I'll show you the damage. And I might end up going all the way around because it connects out to 65. I told a bunch of you guys yesterday through the messaging and everything else that we were about 8 miles away, but it turns out, I'm thinking from last night from seeing the closer spot coming from the opposite way, it was like 3 or 4. And then this was where the campground was, and then this is the small family's homestead. Now you can see they got their place, and they're getting ready to put in gardens and goats and chickens and all that type of stuff. And then coming right up here on top of this hill, just as you come up, this is the corner of the property by these green trees. There's the pole right there just past with the purple top right there. That's the corner of the homestead. And we've gone 0.3 miles so far. So from the edge of the homestead, or from the one corner of the homestead to the other end is 0.3 miles across. And then, like I said, these roads are windy, so we're gonna go through. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. We're gonna go down here, and then I'll stop at a couple spots and step out the truck if I can, if there's no traffic. Once I go out to 65, I don't think there's gonna be anywhere I can pull over, but we'll find out on if we can or not. So like I was saying, Steve came out here Tuesday, and he was here for a day and a half, and then the tornado happened. So if everybody's not happy here in Arkansas with me bringing all the snow and cold and everything else, they ain't gonna be happy with Steve bringing the tornadoes. However, Steve gets a pass because they normally don't get snow. They do normally get tornadoes. They've had tornadoes before, so they're gonna be a lot easier on Steve than they were me. But I can't complain. Nobody's been hard on me. Everybody's been so warm and welcoming here. That's why I said I wouldn't go anywhere else. So we're coming up to a mile. I thought I was a lot farther. I thought I was 2 miles from the Yancey's place that got hit by the tornado. Got a car coming up here. So let me get by this car. Then I'll probably stop right here real quick. So we are at 1.25 miles. Let me actually pull up a little bit farther. So this was the Yancey's homestead that got hit. They still farm here. They live somewhere else. Yeah, I hear you, Mr. Cow. But you can see part of the structure there. They never rebuilt here. So their place is 1.25 miles from me. So it actually could be a little bit closer than that due to the fact of if you go in a straight line, not down the curvy roads. But then again, I don't know if the curvy roads push this area out farther. So, mile and a quarter from the homestead, from the entrance on Gregory Lane. So it'd be even closer. It'd be less than a mile from the far side of the homestead. And then we're gonna get down here, and this is where you're gonna see the damage over this direction. I do later, I'm not gonna do it right now, but I wanna go left here to go see if the path went down, if I can see it from the road to the left. But I know last night me and Steve saw the damage here to the right. So we're gonna get down here and get on Chickapin. This is North Woolham, and we're gonna turn over here onto Chickapin. And like I said, when we came through here last night, you know, all we could see were big root balls and stumps right against the road. And then I posted on the 2017 tornado and the tornado yesterday, the Arkansas information sheets. So if you guys haven't seen the post, you can look at that. They both were EF2 tornadoes. The tornado yesterday was, I think, 10.8 miles long, and the one back in 2017 was like 36 miles or something like that long. So this one was a third of the pathway and destruction. But I mean, EF2, I mean, it's still 120 mile per hour peak winds, and they do a lot of damage. And like I said, as soon as we get up here, we're at 1.8, 1.9 miles right now. So we're getting farther away. We still have probably, I don't know, quarter mile maybe, something like that. But you're gonna start seeing in all the root balls that we saw. Shut down power lines, all different roads were closed. Highway 65 got shut down. And it was not a nice tornado for the area. I'm going to turn this air on because Max is fogging up the windows. Try to make sure we get clear view. I think we got 2 more slight bends, and then you're going to start seeing all the damage. And then, like I said, I'm going to go over 65 too. And maybe from here, you know, we might be able to see the path all the way through, because on 65 when we drove, I mean, it was obliterated. The woods were just flat. There were roofs up in the trees and everything else, and it sucks. I mean, anywhere you live, if you have earthquake damage, hurricane damage, flooding damage, tornado damage, you know, it sucks, you know, because some of these people don't have the money to rebuild. Some of the people didn't have insurance or couldn't afford insurance. So it's one of those things that it just hurts. So as we're getting up here, I'm starting to see smaller trees that are snapped. And I'm trying to look over to the left to see if the path was back this way or if it's farther forward, because I don't want to pass it. I know these winds got bad because a lot of these trees came down. So you can see, like, there's this tree on the left hand side cut down. You can see here to the right all the root balls pulled up. So this was just from the winds that affected. I don't think this was where the touchdown was. I think we're slowly getting towards what's up here. Hopefully this house up here didn't get affected. No, that one didn't get affected. But you can see this, another big one right here to the right hand side, the big root ball ripped up. And then you can start seeing all these massive trees just sucked down. I mean, just massive trees. So let me go ahead, I'm gonna roll the window down for a second. These people got very, very lucky. So you can see that's their house there. And they didn't get hit, but all these massive trees here. Oh, it's okay. All these massive trees here got ripped out. Chubbs, just 9. So luckily those houses and barns aren't touched. So all these trees got ripped out, but all these people over here got lucky. I'm not sure farther up the path and farther down the path if people were as lucky. I know down on 65 they weren't as lucky. But luckily the road crews here and everything, the power company, they jumped on everything right away, got everything taken care of, and got everything opened up right away. You can see, like I said, just massive trees down everywhere. These people bought this place and piled all this junk, and now you can see the junk's blown over through everybody's place. And this used to be a really beautiful field over here. I almost bought it to fence for the animals if I had the money at the time, but I didn't. And now it's just a big old junk pile right next to the cemetery. So that was the junk pile, and there's the cemetery. So luckily the ones that have passed away can't see what's next to them. It's just everybody that comes to visit. So I'm gonna get down here off this curve, and then I'm gonna get my phone put back in the holder, and then we're gonna go over to 65. You can see a lot more damage on 65 than you could over here, just because the hills were so steep here and the roads are so tight and not cleared. So give me 1 second, get my phone set up. So this road goes out, and we can connect over to 65. So there's multiple ways to the homestead, and then where I made the right and then the immediate left on the chicken pen where we are now, I could have veered right once again, and that was North Woolham, and that will take us down into Pendle, and we could have gone that way as well. So I'm going to take you up here to 65, so that way I can circle all the way back around, take 65 back to South Woolham, be able to kick back over to the homestead that way after I'm done the ride along. And that gives you guys an idea of the area, for those of you that haven't seen the area for a while, and those of you that have been asking when I'm going to start ride-alongs again. I really don't travel that much except back and forth to Harrison, so there's not really a point to do many ride-alongs. I know some people liked it with the music. They could just sit there and occupy some of their time. But, you know, once you do a ride-along, unless it's something different or unique like the tornado damage like this, then it's just repetitive. And I know a lot of people, I could tell by the views, you know, once you see one ride-along of the one area, you know, the views go down if it's the same area. So I'll do ride-alongs if there's storms or things like this. I should have done a ride-along with all the winter damage when we had that 14 inches of snow a couple weeks ago, and showed all the trees down and everything like that. I did a little bit of a ride-along on the homestead, just not through the area. But I know a lot of people were concerned about the tornado and how it was going to affect me. Like I said, the Yancey's tornado from 2017 was roughly 1.25 miles away from the homestead in a straight line. Could probably be as close as maybe a mile. I'm thinking it's pushed farther away the way the roads curve out farther and farther away, but I'm not 100% sure. And then this tornado was about 2 3/4 to 3 miles away. I should have looked down at my phone, or down at my gauge. Didn't do that because I was talking. And so yeah, so all this area, I mean, and that's the thing, you know, you look at the woods out here. This is, I believe, the fourth tornado on the record that St. Joe has had touchdown in the area. The last one was in 2017. Before that, I believe, was in the 90s. And then before that was back in, I think, the 50s or something. Because from the record I looked at, it was from 1950 forward. And I believe there was only those three until the one yesterday. And the one yesterday would be the fourth one. For those of you that are big Bass Pro fans, I don't know his name. I know it's Johnny something, whoever owns Big Bass Pro. But if you go left here, there's a cave system that was a tourist thing back in the day. And Johnny just bought that last year, the year before. He also bought Dog Patch here in Arkansas. I don't know where Dog Patch is. I know it's past Harrison somewhere. But he bought this cave systems, and I guess they're gonna redo the cave systems here and eventually open it back up, possibly. I'm not 100% sure. So I know there's some people that follow big names like that, or people follow the different things that different rich people do. So Arkansas is being bought up. Like I showed Steve, all the different places here that are new, different commercial buildings, different residential housing, different everything. I mean, it's a lot, you know, just in the couple years that I've been here in Arkansas, how quick Arkansas is being bought up. And the thing is, I mean, the properties still are being bought up. And having rich money coming in, like Bass Pro coming in, buying up all these multi-million-dollar places that are hundreds and thousands of acres, it's going quick. Here's the, we just passed the, I think, internet tower, phone tower. So that's the nice part being here versus Cotopaxi, because in Cotopaxi, Colorado, I had no service. I couldn't do live streams, didn't have any type of phone service. I had to drive miles away up onto the mountain just to get enough to make a phone call. And out here I can do all these things. And then, like I said, once I build my house on the homestead, then I'll be able to have live streams going with the animals, coming up for cookies and things like that. Be able to do a lot more coverage. So we're coming up to 65 right here. So if we make a left here, that will go to Western Grove, then to Valley Springs, and then Bellefonte, and then eventually to Harrison. And then turning right here, this will take us down to Pendle first, and then goes to St. Joe, and then goes on out to Marshall, and then down to Clinton if you keep going out that way. But it's beautiful. You can see the grass in the fields are starting to turn green because we've had the warm temperatures. Right now it's 30 degrees. Yesterday and today were horrible cold, down into the mid-20s at night, and that's what sparked the tornado, because that was Thursday was the tornado. So Wednesday it was 78 degrees. So it went from 78 all the way down to 26 degrees last night. So just the major change like that sparks these storms because of the moisture and everything coming up from the Gulf of Mexico. So we have, I want to say, maybe 2.5 miles, maybe 3 miles, and we're going to be right back at the path of the tornado. I'm going to try to pull over if there's a driveway that I won't completely block, because I don't want to block somebody's driveway. But I do want to get the footage, just not just to show you guys, but to have it as a record for me. And here's a hurricane entrance, that sign. So that's the road that will connect back over that way. I haven't figured all these roads out. But you can turn there and get back over to where that split was to go down to the caves that Bass Pro bought. But little by little, I'm learning the areas. I stay in my bubble, for those of you that don't know. I don't go out and do a bunch of hiking, and you know, people say there's waterfalls here I can hike out to, and Blue Lagoon pools and things like that. It's just, I've got enough stuff to do on the homestead, and that's why I bought the homestead, and that's why I have the animals, because then I don't have to go nowhere. I can sit here, I can enjoy my property. And I mean, 120 acres is plenty of land to go hike out on. There's some state parks that are less than that, or county parks or things like that. So got my animals, got my land. I don't need to go out do anything. Same thing with the ride-alongs. A lot of people want me to go drive to Clinton and drive to all these different places in Arkansas, but for me, A, I hate driving, and B, I really don't want to be anywhere when I can be on the homestead trying to make progress. So as we come down these next couple bends, we're going to come into Pendle. This is the next town next to us. If you look at the tornado report, Pendle is where the tornado touched down. And I'm not sure if that's where it touched down first in the 2017 tornado. I do know that it went through Pendle in the 2017 tornado as well. So I don't know, maybe that's something I might look into just for my knowledge, is to see if there's a reason why they touched down in Pendle or started in Pendle, if it's opening through the woods or something like that. I wouldn't know. So like I said, here's the sign. We're entering Pendle now, and then halfway through Pendle, or towards the end of Pendle, is where the tornado path and damage that we saw when we came through. The crappy part is coming this way. I'm going towards the sun. But like I said, I'm going to try to pull over and get some better footage. Hopefully as I get up here, as I go around these curves, the sun won't be as bad. And I think the population of Pendle's like 118. So it's not a big population out here either. There's the church sign. Fear not, God is in control. For the religious people out there. 1 lane traffic ahead. So I guess they got this shut down to 1 lane because I guess they're probably working A, on the power lines, or B, taking out all the trees that had problems. So this might help in a way once we get up here. And I can do a little bit of coverage. So I'm not sure, but over here these are tarped. I don't know if these roofs were tarped or not. I don't see any tree damage over here, so I don't think these places were messed up. But the tornado went from that way over, and I'm gonna flip the camera around because it's a long line here, so we might be here for a little bit before we can get up here. So I don't know what's going on, but it's a long line of traffic. And I don't want to end the live stream and then have to start it back up, because then I might miss the hat. But how long this line is, I think I will end this live stream, and then I'll start possibly a part 2. I'm gonna pull up to the side, see if I can see it a little bit. Okay, yeah, there's no traffic moving. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna end this live stream, and then I'll start a new live stream, and I'll set it for like 5 minutes from now, or 10 minutes from now, and then as soon as I start moving, I'll start filming again. And then, like I said, if possible, now with this construction, I don't know if I'll be able to pull over. There is a mini storage unit, so I might be able to pull in there. Actually, never mind. We're moving right now. All the brake lights just went off and people are starting to move. So I'm gonna put my phone back into here, so I'm not holding my phone while I'm trying to drive. Get the camera turned back around. See if I can get better focus without the sun. It's a long line of people going. I don't know if they just let out a little bit of the line or what's going on. But like I said, we're right here. I mean, up ahead is where all the damage is. Yeah, I think there's just so much traffic. I think what they're doing is they let so many through, and that's what we're doing, is we're just inching along. there's anybody looking for a big commercial property, there's this one right here on the corner of Pendle. I think they want like $550,000 for it. They do a big flea market there right now. Oh yeah, they got tons of crew and everything all over the place up here. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm actually gonna get through this construction. I'm gonna end this live stream, and then I'll go down into St. Joe and then turn around St. Joe, and I'll come back up here to Pendle from the other direction, so that way I don't have the sun, and that way I can pull off the road and set up the live stream for the part 2, so that way you guys get a good view and don't have the sun messing with the video. And like I said, I don't know how long I'm going to be in traffic going this way. That will give me a way to judge coming back on when I want to start the live stream. And then I'll see you guys back with part 2 of the damage here in the top part of St. Joe up here to Pendle. So I hope everybody has a great day. And remember, live happy, live free. That's the only way to be. Have a good day.